Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Liv Ullmann. Biography. Liv Ullmann is a celebrated Norwegian actress, director, and writer, internationally renowned for her profound emotional depth, naturalistic performances, and her long and remarkable collaboration with Swedish filmmaker Ingmar Bergman. Born on December 16, 1938, in Tokyo, Japan, where her Norwegian father was an engineer working abroad, Ullmann spent her early years in Canada and Norway. After her father's death during World War II, her family returned permanently to Norway, where she would later begin her artistic journey. Early life and stage career. Ullmann's interest in acting developed at a young age. After studying at the National Theatre School in Norway, she began performing in local stage productions in the 1950s. Her early theater work established her as a promising young actress, admired for her intelligence and sensitivity on stage. Collaboration with Ingmar Bergman. Liv Ullmann's career took an extraordinary turn when she met director Ingmar Bergman, who cast her in the 1966 psychological masterpiece Persona. The film, which also starred Bibi Andersson, was a landmark in world cinema and brought Ullmann international fame. Her haunting portrayal of Elisabeth Vogler, a stage actress who stops speaking, showcased her ability to convey immense emotion through silence and expression alone. Over the next decade, Ullmann became Bergman's cinematic muse, appearing in some of his most acclaimed works, including Hour of the Wolf, 1968, Shame, 1968, The Passion of Anna, 1969, Cries and Whispers, 1972, Scenes from a Marriage, 1973, Autumn Sonata, 1978, opposite Ingrid Bergman. Their partnership, both artistic and romantic, became one of the most significant in film history. Through Bergman's lens, Ullmann explored the depths of human emotion, love, and existential despair, establishing herself as one of the foremost actresses of European cinema, Hollywood and international work. Though primarily known for her European films, Ullmann also appeared in English-language productions, such as Lost Horizon, 1973, Pope Joan, 1972, and A Bridge Too Far, 1977. Despite mixed critical reception for some of her Hollywood projects, her presence always brought an element of dignity, depth, and authenticity. Directorial career. In the 1990s, Liv Ullmann transitioned successfully into directing, proving that her artistic vision extended beyond acting. Her directorial debut, Sophie, 1992, was followed by Kristin Lavransdatter, 1995, and later Faithless, 2000, ********, a film written by Ingmar Bergman, revisiting themes of love, betrayal, and memory. Her directorial work has been praised for its sensitivity, insight, and emotional intelligence. Personal life and legacy. Liv Ullmann and Ingmar Bergman had a daughter together, Linn Ullmann, who has become an acclaimed novelist and journalist. Throughout her life, Liv Ullmann has also been deeply involved in humanitarian work, serving as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and advocating for children's rights and global humanitarian causes. She has written several autobiographical books, including Changing, 1977, and Choices, 1984, in which she reflects on her career, relationships, and personal philosophy. Awards and recognition. Over her long and distinguished career, Ullmann has received numerous honors, including Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, for The Emigrants, 1971, multiple Academy Award nominations, honorary awards from film festivals and cultural institutions around the world, Lifetime Achievement Awards recognizing her contribution to cinema and humanitarian work. A lasting influence. Liv Ullmann's artistry continues to inspire generations of actors and filmmakers. Her performances, marked by psychological depth, vulnerability, and quiet strength, have made her a towering figure in modern film history. As both an actress and director, she remains a symbol of artistic integrity and emotional truth. Liv Ullmann. Biography. Liv Ullmann is a Norwegian actress, director, and writer, widely regarded as one of the greatest performers in European cinema. Born on December 16, 1938, in Tokyo, Japan. To Norwegian parents, she spent part of her early childhood in Canada before her family returned to Norway during World War II. Ullmann's early experiences, marked by displacement and loss after her father's death during the war, would later inform the emotional depth and intensity that became hallmarks of her acting style. Early career. Liv Ullmann began her stage career in Norway in the 1950s, performing in various theatre productions before transitioning to film. Her screen debut came in Fjols til Fjels, 1957. But it was her collaboration with the legendary Swedish director Ingmar Bergman that launched her to international fame. Collaboration with Ingmar Bergman. Ullmann's partnership with Bergman became one of cinema's most famous director-actor collaborations. Their first film together, Persona, 1966, is now considered a masterpiece of psychological cinema. In it, Ullmann played Elisabeth Vogler, a famous actress who stops speaking, opposite Bibi Andersson. The film explored themes of identity, communication, and emotional intimacy, concepts that would recur in much of Bergman's work. She went on to star in several of Bergman's most acclaimed films, including Shame, 1968, The Passion of Anna, 1969, Cries and Whispers, 1972, Scenes from a Marriage, 1973, Autumn Sonata, 1978. Her performances in these films, often portraying complex, introspective women facing existential crises, earned her critical acclaim and international recognition. Hollywood and international work. Although best known for her European films, Ullmann also worked in Hollywood and English-language cinema. She appeared in 40 Carats, 1973, and Lost Horizon, 1973. Though these films did not achieve the same critical success as her Scandinavian work, nevertheless, she continued to be respected as one of the most talented and expressive actresses of her generation. Directing career. In the 1990s, Liv Ullmann transitioned to directing. Her directorial debut, Sophie, 1992, was followed by Kristin Lavransdatter, 1995, based on Sigrid Undset's Nobel Prize-winning novel. She later directed Faithless, 2000, written by Ingmar Bergman, which earned praise for its honesty and emotional power. In 2014, she directed a new adaptation of Miss Julie, starring Jessica Chastain and Colin Farrell. Writing and personal life. Ullmann has also written two memoirs, Changing, 1977, Choices, 1984. These works reflect her introspective nature and her thoughts on art, love, and identity. She had a personal and creative relationship with Ingmar Bergman, with whom she had a daughter, Linn Ullmann, who became a respected author and journalist. Awards and legacy. Throughout her career, Liv Ullmann has received numerous accolades, including Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for The Emigrants, 1972, 2 Academy Award nominations for The Emigrants and Face to Face, multiple honors from international film festivals and organizations. She has also been celebrated for her humanitarian work, serving as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, advocating for children's rights and social justice. Legacy. Liv Ullmann's legacy is one of emotional honesty, artistic courage, and deep human insight. Through her collaborations with Bergman and her own directorial achievements, she has helped redefine what cinema can reveal about the human soul. A deep and complex relationship with Ingmar Bergman. Liv Ullmann's connection with Swedish filmmaker Ingmar Bergman was one of the most famous partnerships in cinema, an intertwining of art, love, and psychology that lasted for decades. They first met in the mid-1960s when Bergman cast her in Persona, 1966. The film became a turning point not only in Ullmann's career but also in film history. Their relationship quickly turned personal. They lived together for several years on the remote island of Faro, Sweden, where Bergman shot many of his films. Although they eventually separated romantically, their creative bond remained strong throughout their lives. Bergman continued to write roles specifically for Ullmann, seeing in her the perfect interpreter of his most intimate and philosophical themes: silence, guilt, love, and identity. Bergman once said that Liv Ullmann expresses more with her face than most actors do with words, a sentiment echoed by critics around the world. In Scenes from a Marriage, 1973, Ullmann's portrayal of Marianne, an ordinary woman navigating the collapse of a marriage, was so raw and real that the series was said to have influenced public discussions about divorce in Sweden. Even after Bergman retired from film directing, Ullmann remained close to him. She later directed Faithless, 2000, based on a script written by Bergman, which was widely regarded as an emotional farewell between two lifelong collaborators. Transition to directing by the 1990s. Ullmann had turned much of her creative energy toward directing, an evolution that felt natural given her years of deep involvement in Bergman's psychologically rich storytelling. Her debut as a director came with Sophie, 1992, a period drama exploring themes of love, independence, and duty. The film received critical acclaim and confirmed her skill behind the camera. She followed with Kristin Lavransdatter, 1995, a lavish adaptation of Sigrid Undset's Nobel Prize-winning trilogy set in medieval Norway. Ullmann's direction combined sweeping landscapes with a profound emotional intimacy, blending the grandeur of historical epic with the depth of character study. Perhaps her most personal directorial work was Faithless, 2000. Written by Bergman and directed by Ullmann, the film examines infidelity and memory through a semi-autobiographical lens. Critics praised it for its honesty and emotional restraint, noting that Ullmann's directing style mirrored Bergman's in spirit but had its own distinctly feminine compassion and subtlety. Her later directing projects included Miss Julie, 2014, starring Jessica Chastain and Colin Farrell, a bold adaptation of August Strindberg's play about class, gender, and power. Ullmann brought a modern psychological perspective to the story, once again demonstrating her lifelong fascination with the inner worlds of human beings. Humanitarian work and advocacy beyond cinema. Liv Ullmann has long been admired for her dedication to humanitarian causes. She became a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in 1976, traveling extensively to advocate for children's rights, education, and equality. Her empathy, eloquence, and moral conviction made her a respected global figure far beyond the arts. She has also been an advocate for women in film, calling for greater representation, respect, and opportunity for female artists in an industry long dominated by men. Her leadership and example helped inspire a new generation of Scandinavian actresses and filmmakers. Autobiographical writing and philosophy. Ullmann's introspective nature is evident not only in her acting but also in her writing. Her memoirs, Changing, 1977, and Choices, 1984, offer candid reflections on her personal life, her time with Bergman, motherhood, and the struggles of balancing fame with authenticity. In her books and interviews, Ullmann often speaks about the search for truth, in relationships, art, and the self. She once said, "I think acting is about being honest, even when you're pretending. Because when you are honest, People see themselves in you. Later life and legacy. In recent years, Liv Ullmann has remained a revered figure in international cinema. She continues to appear occasionally in film and theater and often participates in retrospectives and festivals celebrating Bergman's and her own work. In 2022, she received an honorary Academy Award, recognizing her lifetime achievements as an actress, director, and humanitarian. Now in her 80s, Ullmann lives quietly between Norway and the United States, maintaining close ties with her daughter Liv Ullmann, who has become a leading voice in contemporary literature. Liv Ullmann's influence endures through the emotional honesty of her performances, her pioneering work as a director, and her commitment to compassion and truth both on and off the screen. She is not just a great actress of her generation, she is a timeless artist whose work continues to resonate deeply with audiences around the world. Major film roles and career highlights. Throughout her decades-long career, Liv Ullmann built one of the richest filmographies in European cinema. Her work spans intense psychological dramas, period epics, and quiet studies of human emotion. Below are some of her most defining roles. Persona, 1966, directed by Ingmar Bergman. Persona remains one of the most studied films in cinema history. Ullmann played Elisabeth Vogler, an actress who suddenly stops speaking. Her silence contrasts with the talkative nurse Alma, Bibi Andersson, creating a haunting exploration of identity and duality. Ullmann's minimalist yet powerful performance, much of it without dialogue, is often cited as one of the greatest in film. The camera lingered on her face for long, unbroken shots, capturing the subtlest flickers of emotion. This role established her as an icon of modern film acting. Shame, 1968, here. Ullmann and Max von Sydow portray a married couple caught in the chaos of civil war. Her performance combines fragility and resilience, showing the psychological toll of violence and moral collapse. The film also reflects Bergman's fear of political instability in the late 1960s. Cries and Whispers, 1972, in this visually striking and emotionally harrowing drama, Ullmann plays one of three sisters gathered around a dying sibling. The film is drenched in symbolic color, especially red, and explores guilt, repression, and sisterly love. Ullmann's portrayal of selfishness and suppressed tenderness helped the film earn 5 Academy Award nominations. Scenes from a Marriage, 1973, perhaps her most famous role. Ullmann's Marianne became a mirror for millions of viewers worldwide. The miniseries, later edited into a film, traces 10 years of a marriage's rise and fall with disarming realism. Her chemistry with Erland Josephson was extraordinary, and their dialogue-driven scenes felt so authentic that psychologists later reported patients referencing scenes from A Marriage in therapy. The performance earned Ullmann global acclaim and cemented her reputation as the embodiment of emotional honesty in acting. The Emigrants, 1971, and The New Land, 1972, directed by Jan Troell. These two films follow a Swedish couple emigrating to America in the 19th century. Ullmann's portrayal of Christina Nielsen earned her a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Her nuanced depiction of faith, perseverance, and sorrow made her a global star beyond Bergman's films. Autumn Sonata, 1978, a unique and powerful collaboration. Ullmann starred alongside Ingrid Bergman in her final film role. Directed by Ingmar Bergman, the film portrays a painful confrontation between a mother and daughter. Ullmann's restrained yet devastating performance as Eva, the emotionally wounded daughter, is among her most celebrated. Acting style and philosophy. Liv Ullmann's acting has always been defined by psychological depth, emotional vulnerability, and a quiet, natural intensity. She rarely relied on grand gestures or theatricality. Instead, she expressed the most complex emotions through stillness, through her eyes, pauses, and subtle shifts in tone. She once said, "The camera loves truth, not acting. If you are truly feeling, the camera will know." Her ability to convey inner turmoil without overt expression made her one of the pioneers of modern screen naturalism. Critics often described her face as a canvas of emotion, capable of revealing an entire story in silence. Awards and recognition. Liv Ullmann's artistry has been recognized with numerous international honors across film festivals and institutions. Golden Globe Award, 1973, Best Actress for the Emigrants Academy Award nominations, 1973, 1977, The Emigrants. Face-to-Face BAFTA nominations and several New York Film Critics Circle Awards. National Board of Review Award for Face-to-Face, 1976, Cannes Film Festival Special Awards recognizing her contributions to cinema. Commander's Cross of the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany. Norwegian Royal Order of St. Olav, one of Norway's highest.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.